guest at Pressure Points with your two favorite spelunking boys. I'm Dee, and this is my super extra special explorer, AJ. We're hitting you with Season 4, Episode 10, Lip Dip Paint. If I sound wheezy, it's because my asthma's hitting, bitch. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at PointsOPressure. Get ready, it's saucy.
You know what? You do sound a little
I'm
wheezy.
so fucking beat right now, dude.
Oh, fuck. I'm dead.
I'm beat to
that
shit,
took it out
dude.
of me way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, originally, half an hour, maybe an hour-long thing.
I was, too.
4 fucking hours later.
I totally forgot.
So, for reference, or for context, AJ told me before I came over today, he was like, oh, we're going to go get I can't even think of
galoshes.
Yeah, we're going to go get some galoshes from Wally World. So I can't say their name. We'll get fucking
We'll get sued, yeah.
Yeah, especially after all these Ubisoft lawsuits now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's been a rough week.
So he's like, we're going to go get some galoshes. We're going to climb into an old storm drain. I don't know what the fuck it is. But
canal? A canal that goes under a mountain?
Yeah. So climb through this canal that turns into a cave that turns back into a canal and pops out on the other side of the mountain. But I didn't think that it popped out on the other side of the mountain. I thought that it just ended and we would turn around and galosh our way back through. No, that was not the case. It was like I'd say probably like 2 miles. It was probably like a fucking quarter of a mile.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think to the entrance was half a mile underground, and then because we had to go back around the mountain.
An additional 2, I think.
Yeah. We fucking killed it.
In fucking rubber galoshes in the sunlight.
Yeah.
So I'm sporting 2 nice crispy chicken thighs for feet right now.
Yeah, mine are
a little bit deep fried.
Mine are bleeding a little bit.
But yeah, it was cool. That was my first time doing a B&E.
We didn't break in.
I would say we kind
There
of
wasn't
did.
a no trespassing sign. There was a no swimming sign.
And it wasn't like that gate was really bolted down.
No, not at all. We only lifted it barely.
Yeah. If AJ starts screaming during this episode, it's because he's trying to get out one of the longest splinters I have ever fucking seen in my life.
Holy shit, it was so bad.
It is 2 inches long. It goes from the middle of his palm on his right hand all the way over
to
like the thumb joint. It's fucking huge.
Oh, it is bad.
That was just before we hopped into the
poop
entrance.
water.
Yeah, before we hopped into the piss water. And he goes to hop down, grabs this like old railroad tie looking thing, and he just goes, "Ooh, I got a splinter!" And it's just we're all like, "What the fuck?"
It was bad.
We spent a good 10 minutes trying to pick little pieces of it out. I got AIDS from AJ today. Got his blood on my hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Won't be the last time.
No.
But yeah, so I don't know if you're planning on putting up that video. We'll probably put up a screenshot of my butt cheeks.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah, we should.
Maybe. We might.
Yeah.
I'll put out the...
Show off my
some
little hairy ass.
Oh, yeah. Some pictures on it on an Instagram post.
Yeah, we'll get some shit
Just
on
a couple
there.
pictures.
It's pretty cool. It's like I said, it went like cement circular cave that was probably like 5 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so we could both stand up
this
straight.
Big cave where, yeah, right. I had to go on my tiptoes just to hit the ceiling. But yeah, then it opens up to this big cave, and there were spots where it had like long stretches of not deep water, but it was probably like 6 inches deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and that graffiti.
Which one?
The only one. The only graffiti in the entire tunnel.
You should put the picture up of that.
That's a good one. It's from December 15th, 1943.
Yeah. What was the guy's name?
I don't remember.
But
I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, same, dude. But yeah, super cool experience. For those of you that live in Utah, check out your local shit. I haven't really ever gotten into it, but AJ's a big push for urban exploration. Check that shit out. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's hard to find good spots in Utah.
Easy to find heroin needles, so go for it. Treat yourselves.
Treat yourself.
Get tetanus and high at the same time. Oh, that's an open line.
Oh, don't worry, I'll close that up.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry about that.
I love on the screen the...
Yeah.
All right, so...
Yeah, what you got for me today?
Lip dip paint.
I love dip.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine doing a podcast without dipping my lip.
We're doing a tobacco dip review episode. I got my fucking dip in right now.
I got my lip.
No, so...
Where's my mud jug?
Yeah, I'll get to what lip dip paint means. But back in 1917, and I'm sure a lot of people already have heard this, but I thought that it was cool. And for those of you who haven't heard it...
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I'm your guy.
For the people who haven't heard it.
In 1917, there were 3 factories that opened up. One in Ottawa, Illinois, one in Waterbury, Connecticut, and one in Orange, New Jersey. Now, they would hire women to go in and paint watches. Now, it drove a lot of women in because they would pay more than most other manufacturing companies. I think it was something like they would get paid I think it was 29 cents per watch style they finished. It was a lot.
That's pretty good for 1917.
Yeah, big time. And they were taught what's called the lip dip paint process. Now, the paint that they were putting on these watch styles, it over time, the tip of their paintbrush would kind of start to fray out. So they were taught to twist the paintbrush with their mouth. Lick it off, dip it in the paint, and then paint your watch styles.
Yeah, it keeps the point sharp.
Yeah. So, and it actually, they were taught this because it would save time rather than wiping it onto a rag, getting it wet again, dipping it in the paint, and fucking doing your thing. And we all know about that American efficiency. God forbid. So, initially... when they were taught this trick, a lot of the women were kind of they were iffy on it because they were the guys that are handling this paint, they have these lead-lined gloves and they're wearing
crazy.
Lead aprons and there were a lot of precautions, and they go, no, you'll be perfectly fine. It's really small doses. Don't worry about it. And honestly, it's in a bunch of different products anyway, so
and besides,
who really cares?
It's women in the workforce,
yeah,
so
and
fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's you shouldn't be in the workforce.
Don't question me.
God, jeez, I fucking hate it. So, the women just took their word for it. We're okay, cool, great, and they proceeded, and they went on to make millions of dollars, and all of them lived forever, happily ever after.
All right, thanks for Patreon supporters.
And that is the end of the Radium Girls. So, Radium. We're going to get into Radium because, surprisingly enough, this isn't a Russian episode with radiation.
Surprisingly enough.
I'm surprised because I feel like I've done more radiation episodes than you have at this point.
You take that back.
I think I have.
You take that back, you whore.
I really think I have.
You take that back. I will throw this X-Acto knife at you, covered in my blood.
Good. That's my fetish.
I'm making progress.
Good.
I'll keep you guys up to date.
Yeah. When you get the rest of that splinter out, let me know. So, Radium. In 1898, Marie Curie won the Nobel Peace Prize because of her... Wait, was it? Yeah, it was Nobel. So, she won it because she found the radioactive properties of radium and the effects of that on cancer cells. So they were finally able to do radiation treatment and break down cancer cells due to Marie Curie's research. And she actually went on to help with developing the X-ray. And after that, radium was kind of seen as a cure-all. If you've played Fallout, you'll know rads and like radium water and all this like big like radiator springs, like all these big radiation things. It's because back then, obviously, they didn't really have all the technology we have now to research radiation poisoning and the effects of radiation on the body and on cells. So at the time, they were like, okay, well, if this destroys cancer, there's a good chance that it prevents it. So radium was kind of this big product that it was like the must-have item in all of your holistic shit.
It was like Perséphone for the Germans in World War II.
It was like the doTERRA oils of 1917.
Jesus Christ.
Shit, I fucked up the intro. I could have said sponsored by doTERRA. Oh, God.
Let's go back.
Yeah, fuck it. So it was like one of the little taglines that they would use on these products was, if it can cure cancer, it can cure arthritis.
Of course.
Yeah,
natural leap.
If it can cure death, it can cure everything that leads to it. So like I said, it became kind of this normal and regular ingredient that they would add to everything. And when I say everything, you're like, oh, come on. Like, what? No. They had butter and milk that was laced with radium. They had radium chocolate bars, bread that was made with radium water. And you're like, oh, radium water. That's because they would fucking put water in barrels that were like covered in radium, and it would just absorb it. And they're like, oh, look at this fucking glowing water. It's radium water. Ridiculous. They infused cosmetics and creams, and they would say, oh, it gets rid of wrinkles, and it gives you a nice glow.
A nice afterglow.
Yeah. There was actually radium lingerie.
Okay, now that's hot.
Yeah.
Where can I get me a pair of these?
I don't know. Probably in a lead-lined coffin somewhere. They had energy tablets, toothpaste, and hair products that, like, all this shit was just fucking radium-based. And one of the big ones was paint. Now, the reason it was so big is they would purify and refine what's called carnotite. And it's this yellow mineral that they would find in, like, on the Colorado Plateau in Utah, fairly close to where you and I were, actually.
Ah.
The reason they found it is because Navajo, the Navajo would use it for body paint for certain practices.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, super awesome. So they later discovered it in mines, and like I said, they would refine and purify it, and they would turn it into, it would yield to radium. And so this company starts up called Radium Corp, and they just start like...
So original.
Yeah,
man.
Seriously, man.
That's like calling us podcast
yeah,
boys.
History podcast. We're rebranding. So Radium Corp made this huge push. They loved this idea. They loved how big and huge this industry would be. And they liked that they could put this on products and it would glow, which was totally unnatural for the time if it wasn't like an electronic item. So, they, like I said, realized that they could make a really good glowing paint with radium, gum arabic, and water. And they ended up pushing towards using this paint on naval dials, like they would do glassware, which I actually think is really cool, but it's obviously not fucking the best thing. I'm surprised you don't have any of this, but
I only have leaded crystal for my drinks.
So like their glassware would have like this slight bluish green glow to it.
So cool.
Ceramic paint and watch faces. So, back to our favorite employees that are definitely safe throughout this whole thing. I promise it'll be all right. So, these women that are working, if you kind of want a condensed version of this, by all means, check out 1,000 Ways to Die.
Oh, yeah.
Radium Girls.
Oh, yeah. Fuck's
Because
sake.
it is the most sexualized version of this. It's incredible. It cracks me the fuck up. So these women realized that where they were licking the paint, they would start to glow at night, even if they weren't in direct sunlight. This wasn't glow-in-the-dark paint. It didn't need to be charged by the sun. It just had to come in contact with you. Yeah. So these women find this out, and they're like, oh, my God, this is so cool. So some of them start painting their nails. And some of them would just, like, they get bored and tired of painting wash style, so they'll draw little designs on their arms or wherever. Some of them thought it was funny. They painted their teeth just because it would leave this cool shine when they smile. Because even not like when it's not nighttime, if your teeth are glowing, they're going to look brighter. Mm-hmm. So some of these women would actually go into work in their really nice, like, evening gowns for dates, because there would be residual paint that's in the air that would get on their clothing and would get on their skin, and it would leave them with this kind of glowing, ethereal look that was just mind-blowing to people when they go out to bars or on their dates. And they were super excited about it. In 1,000 Ways to Die, they talk about some girl that fucking paints her whole body or some shit, and she's like glowing and has sex with her husband and fucking dies. I don't know. Whatever.
If you haven't seen 1,000 Ways to Die, that's literally every episode.
Yeah, literally every episode. It's
do something, have sex, die.
Something to benefit either your high or your sexual experience. You do get high or have a sexual experience, and then you're dead. That's how that show goes every time.
It's truly art.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. So, what ended up happening was all these women were totally fine until a few years went by and they all kind of started to fall sick. Now,
totally unrelated.
Yeah, no, totally different thing. However, radium will mimic calcium and it will incorporate itself into the bone.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, right?
No, not at all.
So, like I said, it'll infuse itself into your bone, and it'll just reside there, and it gets into, like, your marrow, and it'll just infect the bone overall. So, AJ knows a lot more about this, but I'm just going to, like, shotgun some of these things, and then AJ is going to take care of all of, like, the extent. So, some of these women, their teeth would start falling out by their 30s. Later on in life, they would have struggles with cancer. But what I thought it cured cancer. They would have anemia, unexplained fractures and bone density problems, and radium jaw. Now, you know radium jaw. Hit me with that shit.
Ooh, so you thought leukemia was bad? So now imagine leukemia in your jaw, and because it's taking the place of calcium, when your bone ossifies or replaces the cells, it's just, instead of putting calcium there, it's this radium, and it does not have the same structure. It is much softer.
Oh, yeah.
It takes the place of it.
It's destroying the cells.
At the same time as your body is depositing it there, supposed to be replacing cells, it's now destroying everything around it. It's ruining the DNA in the cells. And when your DNA gets ruined, a lot of times your body will just say, nope, that's not right. There's a coding error. Let's destroy it. Sometimes the DNA gets messed up enough that it just kills itself, or it starts to replicate way too fast and uncontrollably, and that's cancer. So with radium jaw, all this is happening in their jaw, and then one day you wake up, you sneeze too hard, and your jaw's on the floor. Like, it completely necroticizes your entire jaw. Some of the pictures, which we should definitely post, it looks like they have a goiter bigger than their head.
Yeah. There was an account that I read of a doctor that one of the first women to die, he reached up, and I'll talk a little bit about this, but he reaches up to feel her jaw because she's complaining about it. She's already started to get the necrosis and everything. And because of the contact of his hands, her jaw falls off. Like, literally just mushes off of her face.
No, you know, it's probably not radium. It's probably just women's hysteria.
Yeah, honestly, it was just stress. They were probably just...
They should have just stayed home.
I have heard that's an effect of periods. So, no, it's actually an effect of losing your virginity before marriage.
Yeah, and not being in a nuclear family.
God. Oh, Jesus. Maybe
it mushes. It mushes off.
Maybe if they had prayed more, God wouldn't have.
You know, if they didn't dress that way, I'm not gonna finish that. That's awful.
Yeah, we'll trail off there. There were stories about there was a lady that her spine was crushed by her own weight. Like, she went into the doctor. They're examining, and she just kind of like falls over, and her spine is just mush. Like,
it's like paste. A slinky.
Yeah, like fucking, it's like a paste, more or less. Like
Gumby.
Yeah. Which is cool as a cartoon character, not so much real life.
Definitely not real life.
There was another where, because of the bone density problems that they would run into, the pressure of their own weight would cause their bones, well, their leg bones to, like, mush. So they would get shorter. Like, there were some women that had, like, leg shortening problems, more or less. And then, like I said, jaws just deteriorating to total stumps.
And there was also the overgrowth of these mushy bones. Suddenly it's growing too much. It's stretching the skin, necroticizing and dying, and ooh, a lot of fun. It's definitely a good disease.
It's wild. So there was another that they were interviewing some of the women that weren't having as many problems in like the mid-60s, I believe. And they were telling stories about, I remember one of my friends, she actually lost the ability to walk because her back had just like mushed and her legs kind of the same thing. So her husband would put her in a like red wagon and he would pull her around to go places. And she's like, I remember there was one time that we needed to get up this hill, and this is before everything had like mushed down. She was still kind of able to walk, and they get to this hill and she goes, I can't really go any further. And so her husband shows up with this red wagon, lifts her up, sets her down in it, and then pulls her up the hill and just is like, okay, cool, see you, honey.
Right, bye.
And then he hops in the wagon and rides back down. No, I don't.
He definitely did that.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. And he fell face first and died, so she lost that ability to have someone carry her. Tragic story. That's the real tragedy in all of this.
Definitely.
Is that a man died. God. So,
no.
In 1925, after a lot of these women had been exposed for 8+ years, this girl named Molly, she died due to radiation poisoning. And Radium Corp put all of their money to prove that this was not radium. Now, they reached out... Oh,
no.
Yeah, seriously.
No way.
Yeah.
A corporation would try to cover up their wrongdoing when they're making millions of dollars?
This is madness.
You're crazy.
So, they reach out to Molly's family and say, well, actually, this is a really big... this is a problem currently because it was due to a syphilis outbreak.
Syphilis melted her jaw off.
Oh, God.
Syphilis gave her radiation poisoning. Yeah.
And so Molly's parents are just like, I don't think that that's the case. Like, there's no way. So there were a lot of women that were looking into suing Radium Corp. And a lot of lawyers at the time wouldn't take it because Radium Corp was fucking huge. Like,
they were like Coke.
It was basically like trying to sue Amazon, more or less, at the time. It's just you're going up against this, like, at the time, probably $100,000 worth like company.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get anywhere because lawyers are just, they know that that's career suicide. Just, you're going to liquidate all of your fucking assets into this case.
Mm-hmm.
So, in 1927, the case finally gets picked up, And it led to more serious research of the effects of radium on the body. However, Radium Corp was also doing research.
Oh, of course they were. Totally unbiased research.
No, radium actually doesn't do this. So
radium isn't radioactive.
God. So in 1930, this is 3 years of litigation at this point. Back and forth of, well, your scientists are full of shit. Oh, well, your scientists are full of shit. Just back and forth bullshit. And so in 1930, 5 years after Molly died, they dig up her body. And they had to dig up a lead-lined coffin. It was still fairly well preserved, but every single tissue sample that they took from Molly had radiation.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know how many they took, but, like, it was just fucking dunked in radium water. Like, they just made radium soup broth with that shit. And so this back and forth still continues. And in 1937, there are 5 women that actually reach out to a lawyer and they say, we personally are pushing against Radium Corp. These 5 women are known as the Radium Girls. There's apparently a movie about it. I don't fucking know. I didn't watch it. I don't do enough research for these things. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Fuck no.
So, these women had to win 8 different times before Radium Corp would actually finally, like, concede. And it was proven that, hey, radium ain't so good for you. And spitball, how much money do you think that these 5 women got? Not each, just total.
$25,000.
$25,000 at the time, or $25,000
at the time?
So $25,000 at the time comes out to,
doing your calculations,
it's like $500,000. Sound fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Sounds fair from Radium Corp, right?
Yeah, I think it's much lower.
About as fucking fair as Radium Corp can get.
Mm-hmm.
So, Radium Corp gave these 5 women $10,000 total, which is equivalent to just under $150,000.
Hey, your jaw's going to fall off. Go buy yourself a nice lead-lined coffin.
Seriously. It's like they split it 5 ways. That's $30,000 each. Like, they probably don't have such a great outlook on the rest of their life, but $30K?
It's not even enough to fucking do anything.
That's not even enough to fully outfit an entire studio and promote that studio and its hosts. No,
what the fuck is promotion?
God, if we got $30,000, I would shit myself.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had radiation poisoning and I got $30,000, I would shit myself because I was so fucking angry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, there's one woman who, she actually survived to 107 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was 2014, she passed on, and she had only worked in the factory for just a few months.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, the reason she only worked there is because she was just like, I don't dig the work. I think that this is mind-numbing. It's not my thing. And so she went and talked to her manager about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this boss was just like, if you don't like it, you might as well just quit. There's no point in continuing if you hate the work. She's like, okay, quits her job, goes elsewhere.
I quit.
Even after just a few months of exposure, she still lived a life riddled with cancer. I think she had to beat it like 4 fucking times.
Jesus.
And
just from a couple of months.
They interviewed her, I think it was a few years before she died. And she said, she's like, I wish I could go back in time and just hug this manager that told me I should go and do something else. She's like, effectively, he has saved my life, even though I had to deal with cancer. Like, I could have died
so much quicker.
70 years earlier.
Yeah, and so much more painfully.
Oh, Jesus.
Just you wake up one day, you're going down on your 1950s husband. He's drinking a martini and your jaw goes on the floor.
No, they didn't do blowjobs in the 50s.
They only did blowjobs in the 50s.
No,
Nancy Reagan.
No, oh yeah, good lead into the next episode since this bad boy's going to be a short one.
That's not the next episode.
No, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. I'm going to look into it.
You're going to look into it?
Yeah.
All right. I won't put as much effort into my episode so we can spend the first 10, 15 minutes talking about Nancy Reagan.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, Nancy, you dirty homophobic bitch.
Dirty, homophobic, private donation taking
I feel like
bitch.
we've discussed her before.
We've briefly mentioned it.
But I won't give any spoilers. But
has nothing to do with
loved knobbing
that bitch
gobbing
had
on
some
knobs.
DSL.
Yeah, she knew what was up. Unless it came to, like
policy.
Yeah, political policy. They're not
poor people.
Not so much.
All right. Back to Radium Girls.
I mean, that's essentially what I've got. It's like I said, I was gonna burn through this shit. My feet are fucking killing me. Yeah. But the entire Radium Girl lawsuit led to further protections for workers for people in the workforce.
Yeah.
Because it kind of led to, I mean, obviously it wasn't 100% because these were women. If they were men, it would have been a totally different story. But it did lead to, employers having to cover costs of injuries in the workplace.
Whoa.
Yeah. Actually using lead-lined suits and gloves and not licking radium paint off of your paint tips.
So how long did they keep using radium, do you know?
I believe they shut everything down in 1927 is when they stopped using those. I could be totally wrong, but I did see that they were using radium into the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, these military watches were huge. Like, they had a military contract.
Yeah,
and they
that
were
makes
selling
sense.
these, glowing watch faces to the military. And,
yeah,
I mean, the military
that's
ate
so
that shit
useful.
up. Yeah.
That is so useful. Like, having paint that'll glow and it doesn't have to be exposed to the sun. Like, imagine night sights on a gun made of this shit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or, watches, compasses.
Boobs.
Boobies.
Lingerie.
I was going to say,
it would make it so much easier to find boobs if you have the lights off and the bra is glowing. So much easier to take it off the the girl.
What are boobs?
Moobies.
Oh, I have those.
Yeah, we both got those.
Mm-hmm.
Big old double set of triple D's over here. Oh, God.
Why is my phone going off?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, that's very loud.
What? You have a fucking, family get-together? Do I need to go move my car for your wife?
Yeah, maybe. Nah, let's just, let's keep going into it. They're all texting me.
Oh.
I'm just declining my father's calls. He's gonna hear this. All right, so, Radium Girls. Watch the movie? I don't know. I've heard nothing about the movie.
I haven't heard anything either. I'm going to look up
Splinter update.
Let's see.
Splinter update.
Oh.
I got it.
Oh, my God. I'm so proud of you.
I cut with a dirty X-Acto knife into my palm.
What was the X-Acto knife last used for?
Cutting out a stencil for glass burning.
So, IMDb, 6.3 out of 10.
I mean, that's not the worst.
Rotten Tomatoes, 74%. Metacritic, 52.
Ooh. Metacritic didn't like it.
Yeah, but don't take any of their word. I haven't seen it, but I fucking hate those rating systems. They're garbage.
Oh, yeah, they are totally garbage.
Yeah, they're wrong on every Steven Seagal movie ever made because those are 110 out of 10. Oh, God, sorry for the short episode today.
No, we're not done. We're not done.
Oh.
No.
Well, I guess we're not done.
No, I just told you. I did my Splinter update. I had something for this, but I'm fucking tired. I had a question about the Radium Girls, about the thing. How many people were affected?
I have no idea.
I mean,
but as far as I know, it was in the thousands. I want to say 3,000?
If you go from...
Let me look.
Yeah, you look that up. Because if radium's in everything and you're taking medication with radium, water with radium, I'm sure the impact has been, uncountable. Millions of people. But specifically in these watch factories with these women.
So, Radium Corp had hired 70 women to perform various tasks handling radium. However,
that's like hands-on.
Because of how prominent radium was in everything, dude, I'm sure there are thousands of people that were affected just by radiation poisoning.
Yeah, one of the earlier episodes that I was planning to do, but it never came out, was like old medications that'll fucking kill you. And the first one that came up is the radium pills that you got a toothache, perfect. You got fucking cancer, you got a cut, you got
take some fucking radium pills with your cocaine pills. Set.
Yeah. Oh, those were the days.
May Keene, by the way, died in 2014, 107 years old.
Damn. That's crazy.
Jesus. But yeah,
I know what I'm going to be looking for.
Just imagine, your jaw fucking turning to mashed potatoes.
That sounds hot.
Bitch, did you just puke on my dick? My jaw's What? What the fuck?
Oh, right.
Oh, God. What a
mess.
Just scary shit, dude. And you want to know the worst part?
What's that?
We probably got radiation poisoning while we were at those mines.
I was going to mention that. The missile testing base that we went to, they use the tailings from uranium mines to make the concrete, to mix into the concrete. So they recently did a survey for the radiation on that land. Yeah, it's pretty irradiated.
Oh, God. Oh,
my jaw's really sore out
I shouldn't have licked all the cement walls in there. Fuck.
All right. Well, yeah, sorry for the short episode. We got
right.
That fucking trip went way
Dragged
too long.
It on for 7 minutes. But yeah,
beautiful.
Agree.
I got the splinter out.
We were two sleepy boys, and we're not going to do another Sleepy D episode because that was bad news.
Bad news bears.
So we will catch you next week with some.
What's coming up?
Give us a good teaser.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but it has to do with one very large.
Don't say what kind of weird fetish it is.
Very prominent historical figures fetish.
And it's weird, and it's fucking... I don't know enough, but I got some ideas. I'm going to spitball some shit next week.
So there's intrigue, there's mystery, there's murder. I've been poring over declassified government documents from almost 100 years ago to get this information.
Oh, yeah.
And it all has to do with 7... suicidal women.
Oh, God. We're all about women in season 4. We're doing great.
Women power.
Yeah, power to the women, not the people.
No. When are we going to have Jo on for more sloppy seconds?
I don't know. She is planning on doing an episode.
Good.
Now that she got that third stimmy, She
got it already?
No. She's going to get it. But now that she's got it, she's planning on getting a nice little microphone.
Now I'm going to get us new mics. I'm just going to get me a new mic. I'm not going to get you a new mic. I'm just going to get me a new mic.
And then I'll get one that's better.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. We'll fucking see.
I don't give a fuck. If you spend $500 on that thing, go for it. I'll stick with this.
Yeah.
It'll still sound
this
the same.
Sounds great. We've never gotten complaints. We've only gotten compliments on our audio quality. So we don't need a new mic, but
Except
I
for
want
that one guy on Instagram. Did you see that?
Ooh, so one guy on Instagram didn't like our audio quality?
No, it wasn't audio quality. I was running that stupid, follow people thing.
Oh.
And he was like, don't follow me again, you fucking stupid bitch.
So I read that. That came in at 3 a.m. So I clicked on his profile and clicked follow. Request.
Yeah, and you want to know what he did?
What?
He declined it, and then I woke up and saw the message, and so I sent another request.
Okay, let's keep requesting.
And then I was just like, yeah, fuck this, and just deleted him.
Ah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I love it. I saw that. I was going to mention that.
Mainly because I was like, I'm on the Pressure Points Instagram. I can't be as petty as I am on
You should be more petty.
I should? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
We got to figure out what reels are. I don't know what reels are, but apparently they're big.
It's like TikTok for Instagram.
We got some audio clips.
It's like them TikTokers on Instagram. It's them kids watching videos with the music in the background doing the
with their titties flopping around.
You put the button in the... I don't know. This fucking... It turned into Bill Cosby.
Oh,
got
no.
rapey real quick.
Got really rapey. All right, so on that...
we dragged it to 40 minutes. We fucking did it.
So we've got... our Patreon, patreon.com/points-o-pressure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This is, we're going to be doing some advertising, kind of putting ourselves out there soon. Thanks to these fine folks.
If you're listening and you enjoy checking us out, we do some extra little bits, sprinkles of what we call sloppy seconds. It's more so just banter. We just chat.
Posted
really
4 of them like a couple days ago.
Yeah. So we don't have like a big cache of those by any means, but
got over 20.
Yeah. If you go back in our history, we've got a couple that we dropped.
Just one.
Just regular. So check it out if you like it. Follow the links on our socials. And find our Patreon. We have a couple different tiers. Not crazy expensive. Help your boys out. What was that new tier you built? $25?
Oh, the chairperson of the PP. Yeah. Yeah, you get more merch. So there is a new tier. You get merch for a year after on that tier. Plus everything else before. Discounts on the on our little merchandise store. I think it's 15% off. We provide a code for you. And we mention your name at the end, like Dee's Nuts. That's definitely not either of us.
Nope.
Nordic Thunder, fantastic. Send me a message sometime. I haven't talked to you for a while.
Hit us back
up. Sexual Vanilla is back this week. I told you he would be. Dark Runner, Haley, and Casey McFacey.
Yeah, huge shout out to you guys. We appreciate it. As usual, find us on Instagram and Twitter at points-o-pressure, and we will see you bitches next Monday.
I hate that.